Welcome to PR Powerhouse, helping female entrepreneurs to get in the press and to gain PR. I'm Jo Swan, and I'll be sharing how to harness the power of the media to boost your credibility and business visibility, no matter what stage in business you're at. Because I'm on a mission to show you that PR is not just for the big boys. In the show, you'll learn how to reach out to journalists and own your place in the press, because you are ready to become a PR powerhouse. Hey, and welcome to episode 12 of PR Powerhouse. I just had to check that actually. It is episode 12. I can't quite believe that we're already at this point, 12 episodes in. But on the other hand, it actually feels like I've been doing this forever. So it's quite a strange vibe. I hope you're enjoying the insights and my musings and my ramblings and my tips that I've been providing over the last few weeks, and that it really is helping you to feel more PR ready, because that is absolutely my mission with this. It really is to get you thinking about things that perhaps you've not thought about, to get you seeing PR maybe in a different light, and ultimately to get you to realize that you can do this, that this is for you, and that there are opportunities right there at your fingertips. So that's what this is all about. And today I want to talk to you about something that you might think is a little bit odd: your corporate career. Now, this might seem like a little bit of a strange subject area. If you're listening as an entrepreneur and you remember me saying right back at the beginning that this podcast is specifically for female entrepreneurs, and it absolutely is, that's 100% who it's for, that's who I've created it for. But in this episode, I'm not reaching out to people that are still in a job. I'm not talking about careers in that perspective. I am still talking to all of you entrepreneurs out there. But what I want to do today is to chat about your other life, to chat about that corporate career, which you quite possibly have brushed under the table since becoming a business owner. This is something that we all do, and often it's in our desperation to leave the corporate world and to kind of just brush it under the carpet and kind of pretend that it never happened, because often we've left due to maybe not so pleasant experiences, maybe not a very pleasant exit, or because perhaps we've been so ground down that this whole phase of our life has just become a bit tarnished, and it's just something that we don't really want to particularly reflect on or remember. But what if I could tell you that your corporate career could actually be PR gold? What if it could be leverage? What if it could up your kudos and your credibility in terms of your own business? If we could use it in a way that actually was useful, that it felt like it had a purpose, that felt like it was going to do some good for your business and your promotion, then perhaps you might be prepared to revisit it. Maybe. This is how we positioned it to some of our clients, and it's a really powerful sort of reframing exercise actually to do. So I think it's really important to just gather our thoughts on this part of your journey and to understand how actually that can be powerful within PR. Because when the media are considering you for pitches or for expert comment or for features around your story, or they may be looking for some content that is very specific to your subject, what they're looking for when they're looking at you is they're looking for that 360-degree version of you. Now, I've spoken about this before. I've spoken about the fact that journalists don't see you as one-dimensional. They don't just see you as the business owner. They want to see you as a person. They are not interested in the you as the business owner. They are interested in the you as a bigger being, as the bigger you. This is one reason why I tell you that you are PRable, even if you are only 1 week into your business, because your PR ability isn't just about your business. It's about your journey so far. So today we're going to cover 5 things worth mentioning in your media bio from your corporate career. So number 1 is all around riding the kudos. So with this, we're asking, did you work for a business that was well known? Did you work for a household name? Did you work for a recognized brand, a big corporate? Or as part of your work, did you work with suppliers who were any of those things, or celebrities, or people that people would recognize? Because if you did, this is something you need to leverage. So when you're introducing yourself to the media for the first time as a new business owner, obviously you don't have that much to say about your business, but you do have a lot to say about what you've already achieved in life. And sometimes this comes from the corporate world. So if you worked for, I don't know, IKEA or HSBC or any of the big business names that people recognize, then that gives you an instant level of kudos in the eyes of the journalist, because they're like, oh, well, they must be a professional person. They must be someone who is a high achiever. They must be someone who is a kind of a credible individual to be able to have been in this position. So if you worked for somebody that we can write on the back of their status, then that's something that we need to include. So quite often when we've got people who have left the corporate world, so for example, we've got a client who was an ex-marketing manager at HSBC, and she set up now a business. It's a little retail business, which is all about sustainable living. And she does term it as a kitchen table business. So from going from a HSBC marketing manager to creating a passion and purpose fueled kitchen table business, can you see how that's interesting to the media? So reference the people that you used to work for if there's some leverage to be had there. The next thing is, did you have a fancy pants title? And I know this is superficial, and I know this is something that quite often you might repel against and go, oh my God, but I know it was just words. But if you were a director, if you were a head of something, if you had global responsibility, then this is something that, again, gives you another layer to that kudos in the eyes of the journalist. So use your title if it can be used in a way to elevate your position and your credibility, your qualifications. Because again, the journalist just needs something to hook onto to believe that you're somebody that they can trust. Okay, next one. Number 3, did you work globally with customers? And again, this is very similar to that second one. It's about just giving the journalist that confidence, making them impressed by you kind of already before they've even got to know about your business. Because if you're in a position of power within an organization, then they have given you a certain level of trust. You've built yourself up to a certain level within that company, which means that you are a very respected and a very knowledgeable person. And actually, a lot of those skills can be transferred into your business. So did you work globally with customers? If so, wrap all of that up within this experience of what you've done in your corporate career. Number 4, did you win awards? And people feel so weird about this one because quite often clients will say to us, oh yeah, well, I won this award for excellence, or I won this award for best customer service, or I won this award for this or for that. And because it was in a previous life, how they kind of see it, they don't ever talk about it. But again, it's just the same theme. It's building your credibility. It's giving you this stamp of impressiveness of like, okay, this woman has got something about her. She excels, she goes over and above. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to show your values. We're trying to illustrate the values that are going to come through then into your business. Because if you're a high achiever in corporate, you're likely to be a high achiever and a giver in business. You are likely to be someone who really, really gives to your clients and who really gets behind your mission. So this is what we're trying to do this for. We're trying to build up the values and illustrate those values in something very, very tangible. So if you won awards for excelling in your job, for being a high achiever, for hitting targets, for smashing targets, then that's, again, something that is really worth mentioning. Now, you're not going to mention this just in passing if you happen to be just responding to an article request for some tips, for example. But if you are going for a full feature piece or a profile article that is basically telling your own story and your journey, then this stuff absolutely needs to be a part of that. It's a part of the jigsaw. Because when you're telling your bigger story, this is an opportunity for you to really connect with your audience, to engage with your audience, to connect with other people who are in that corporate situation right now, who don't want to be, who want to get out and want to be business owners themselves. So by you explaining that you've been in that world and you get it, you are connecting with those people as well subliminally. So if you won any sorts of awards, we want you to own that. We really ask you to think about all the different elements that you can include when it comes to creating your media bio, which is this bigger picture of you. And like I said, there'll be a time and a place to use this information, but I just want to make this something that you're aware of and that you stop pushing the stuff under the carpet. Now, number 5 comes down to your reason for leaving. So let's talk about your reason for leaving. Did you get pushed out of your corporate career? Or did you feel that you had to leave because there wasn't any flexibility to do with your family situation or the work-life balance that you were looking for? Or was it a very negative work culture? If any of these things are a part of your story, these are really interesting also. And in my experience, the majority of our clients can say yes to at least 3 out of 5 of these, I would say. But many of them actually have 5 out of 5. And all of these things are PR hooks. All of these show the person that you are, the hard worker that you are, the high achiever that you are, and the values that you own. So if you have had such fabulous experience and you were a really high achiever and then you end up being pushed out of this business, or you end up feeling like the business's values weren't aligned to yours, then that really tells us something, because we can imagine that you were on a great salary. We can imagine that you had a nice life and you've risked it all to do now what you're passionate about. Or perhaps you haven't risked it willingly. Perhaps you were pushed out and actually now you've decided to make something of the opportunity and to turn your life into a life that you actually want, using your skills in a way that have got purpose and meaning. The reason that you left your corporate career is actually a really important part of your PR. It's a really interesting part of your story. And often, again, people don't talk about that, possibly because it's a bit too raw, it's a bit too emotional, or they feel like they're not allowed to say these things. You absolutely are, because it's part of your story, it's your journey. So if you've experienced those things, you're absolutely allowed to talk about it. What I'm trying to get to with all of this is to encourage you to believe that you've got PR power, even if you are just starting out in business. Because often when we start out in business, we feel like we are starting from scratch and we talk ourselves down. We listen to our limiting beliefs, telling us that we're not good enough, telling us that we have such a long way to go, that everyone else is smashing it around us and that we're just on the baby steps of the journey. We do this rather than pivoting ourselves from a position of power, from our fabulous achievements that we've already got. And I have done this. Oh my God, I've done this so many times. So I had so many incredible achievements from working. It was still my own business, but when I worked with corporates, I sort of saw that as a different phase of my life and one that I quite happily shut the door on. But actually, we achieved some incredible things. We won some fabulous awards. We really showcased some incredible brands. And by not telling people about that, I'm just doing myself a disservice. I'm wiping all of that work under the carpet when actually it could be used to build my credibility. So yes, I decided not to work with corporates now, but all that stuff that I've done with them is hugely powerful. And the knowledge that I gained is hugely useful to my clients even now. So do you see how this all makes sense? Do you see how it makes sense to use this content, to use this part of your life, this part of your journey as part of your PR power? So this all comes down to this idea that PR is a game. And I think I might have mentioned this before, maybe a few times, that PR is a game. It's a game. And to play it, you need to know what kind of punches to pull. So using your corporate experience brings power, it brings kudos, and it also brings intrigue. Why has she left to run this business? She must be so passionate about it. Oh, that's awful. That's what happened to her career, and she was derailed by this or that. And we wish her all the luck in the world in this new venture because we can feel her passion. Wow, she was such a powerhouse in that role. I can't wait to see what she's going to do with this business. Can you see how that sounds really engaging and really appealing? I hope so, because it really works. So when you're writing about yourself, when you're doing your About Us section on your website, when you're creating your media bio, when you're creating a speaker bio or introductions, really consider that corporate part of your career and really think about how it could work for you now. Because let's be honest, you've slugged your guts out for it. You've probably put blood, sweat, and tears into it. So you might as well make it pay. I really believe that. So this has been a relatively short episode, straight to the point about a very specific subject, but it's something that I really want you to reflect on. So I'd love to know what you made of all that. Did you think it was the most random episode ever? Did you wonder what the hell I was talking about? Did any of that advice really surprise you? Or is it making sense? Is it connecting? I would really love to hear your feedback. I'm absolutely adoring hearing your feedback on the other episodes, and it makes me really think about the things that you guys need to know, as well as the things that you're really putting into practice. It really helps me build the next few episodes. So come and connect with me on social media and let me know what you feel about this particular subject. I absolutely adore getting your feedback. So I'm going to leave you there and wish you a fabulous day. And I can't wait to see what this might uncover for you. All right, take care. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to PR Powerhouse with me, Jo Swan. If you want to feel empowered and supported and excited about getting in the press, come and join us in our free community over on Facebook at PR You Can Do It. I would absolutely love to see you there so I can help you take those next steps to getting in the media.